I'm going to show you how to make a super cheap cooling fan for your camera if you're shooting video, especially if you like to shoot high frame rate 4K. Uh, these things tend to get really hot. If you're just shooting 1080p, you don't have much issue, but once you start shooting like 4K 60, especially when you're outside, summertime, that sort of thing, these things can overheat really quick. You're shooting 420, you can get these things to where they overheat in just a few minutes on them. I'm going to show you how to rig a fan and battery system to it that you can take on and off, and it'll actually stay on while you're moving the camera around, and you can carry it out in the field and it'll work that way. But it really cools your fans and your camera, and it'll actually cool it a little better than some of the things like the Ulanzis and other snap-on fans that cost as much, $60 to $80 depending on the fan. With this system that I'm just setting up here, you can get away with under $10 sometimes, depending on if you have some of the parts laying around already. You can be as cheap as $2 and get a fan that'll cool just as well as any of the store-bought ones, and like I said, a whole lot cheaper. But basically with these, just take a computer fan. You can get these AliExpress, that type of thing, a 2-plug computer fan, less than $2 sometimes. Amazon's a little more expensive, but still under $5 for a fan like this. And you can hook it up to a variety of different types of batteries and connections with them. This I'll mount onto the back of the camera here, and it'll set flush against it, and then your battery will mount on top, and it'll run for hours. With this setup, I've taken the existing plug that comes on here, 2-plug, it's made for computers, and switched it over to something that's made for RC cars. It's really common. You can buy these little things for 50 cents or less on them, and just change the wiring to here, where it makes it easy to be able to use other battery hookups. So you can put one of those on a variety of mounts like this, to where these little things are about 25 to 30 cents on AliExpress, and you can put a 3.7 volt battery, and it'll run a 12 volt computer fan at a slower pace, so it's really quiet. These things are quieter than a lot of the other fans you see. When it's running at 3.7 volts, even though it's a 12 volt fan, the 3.7 will power it. It runs a little slower and a lot quieter, but moves a good bit of air. If you want it to run faster without having to use any type of circuitry to change the speeds in between, you just up your voltage on them. So you can, if you have like smaller RC type batteries that run 7.4 volts, it'll increase the speed of the fan going from the 3.7 to the 7.4. You can even use a 9 volt on here. They just make something similar to this that snaps on a 9 volt. And that 9 volts will run a little faster speed, but you're not going to get nearly the time out of it. A 9 volt battery like this, rechargeable, you can use it over and over again, but it'll only get you about an hour run time at the most. Whereas LiPo battery like this, you're looking at 2.5 hours from just one little battery like this to run the fan, and a little bit larger battery cell like this will run up to 5 hours running this fan. So if you want to shoot something like a podcast, that sort of thing, this will usually get all the time that you need and run quiet enough that external mics won't pick it up at all. And you can tell a difference between this and some of the store-bought fans on it as far as quietness goes. But just once you've upgraded these plugs on it, it makes it real easy just to switch whatever type of battery you want to use. And some of these small RC batteries come with this type of plug, so it just makes it real easy to hook up. I take on the back here and just put a little stick-on pad. That gives you just enough separation from the camera body to where the air flows around it. So it'll pull air in, and it dissipates the air around the back on it and cools the surface. this plate here, and this is where your heat dissipation comes out. It's a metal plate behind here, and that helps cool it a lot faster, and you can still shoot with the screen open like this. With it, all you really need to do is just take that fan, put it on the camera body, just set it up against the pad, just run a couple of rubber bands around here. That's enough to hold it on there, and it'll hold your battery and the fan just fine. You can set a more permanent setup, but this just takes a few seconds to stick on there. Just put it around the camera, mount the fan across the rubber band across the fan, just lay it down. You can stick whichever battery of choice depending on the speed you want to run. This will run a little bit slower on it. Just slip that under the rubber bands on top. Take this, just plug it in. And you can use this as an on-off if you leave it on all the time. Just plug that in. Just any slack you have in the cable, just route up under here. It still allows access to all your thumb controls and handling of it. Put this over here, but you can see the fan running. I'll hold this up to the camera where you can, to the microphone where you can have a quick listen. But you barely get any sound out of it, and it's super quiet. And even with just these rubber bands around it, you can shake this thing around, carry it, use it any way you want to, and it'll run really smooth on here and quiet, and it won't fall off. And just those two rubber bands are just enough to hold it on there just fine without any issue. You can still shoot from screen, move your screen around. You just won't be able to close it fully, but you can still use your eyepiece up there to hold it up in bright light, or just use your screen to shoot whatever video, carrying it around, shooting it that way. But running this battery, the 3.7 volts, is really quiet. So if you've got an onboard microphone that you're using, it'll rarely, you more than likely will never hear this fan at this speed. Now, if you go to a larger battery like this one with a little more power, 7.4 volt, you tend to get a little bit louder noise, but it runs the fan twice as fast. And a really hot day, if you're not having an onboard microphone, you'll never hear it. If you use external mic somewhere, it won't be an issue. The 9 volt gets it spinning pretty quick. It won't last as long, but you may be able to hear that on a microphone that's on top of your camera, but an external microphone, you'll never hear it. But just with that simple setup, if you have a battery, you can order this piece like this for 25-30 cents. You can buy these replacement plugs just to wrap these on and heat shrink this on here for under $1 for those, and the fan for $2 or so at the most. So you can get away easily under $5 and get a fan that'll cool much better than some of these others. And even with this battery setup, last in 2.5 hours, 3 hours minimum, depending on the strength of your battery, and then run 5-6 hours plus with a battery like this, and just rubber band it right on top the same way, and you're good to go. It doesn't affect your controls at all. You can still get to everything and work it, shake it around. It won't go anywhere. For a cheap fan, as cheap as you're going to get, instead of spending $60-70 for one. So if this helped anybody out, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.